In a strategic move that underscores the heightening tensions and the shifting security landscape of the Middle East, the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group has transitioned its area of operations, moving from its high-profile presence in the Mediterranean Sea into the more volatile waters of the Red Sea. This massive deployment, initially ordered as part of the United States' immediate response to the recent and devastating attacks on Israel, has evolved into a prolonged demonstration of maritime power. As global events continue to unfold with unpredictable speed, the Ford's presence in these critical waterways serves as a cornerstone of Operation Epic Fury, a mission designed to ensure regional stability and maintain the free flow of international commerce. Military officials have emphasized that while the timing of the Ford's deployment may have coincided with scheduled maritime movements, its current posture is a direct answer to the worldwide events that are currently reshaping the geopolitical order. When asked about the duration or specific objectives of the mission, leadership on board remains clear. The strike group will continue to support whatever tasks are assigned by the National Command Authority, maintaining a posture of total readiness regardless of the duration of the stay. The USS Gerald R. Ford is not merely a ship. It is a nuclear-powered floating fortress, currently operating at the peak of its combat capabilities. The vessel serves as the home and workplace for approximately 4,600 crew members, a diverse and highly specialized workforce that includes sailors, elite pilots, master mechanics, weapons specialists, medical doctors, surgeons, culinary experts, and an array of support personnel. Together, they form the lifeblood of a machine that never sleeps. On the USS Gerald R. Ford, the concept of downtime does not exist. From the deafening roar of fighter jets launching from the flight deck to the silent hum of the nuclear reactors deep within the hull, the ship operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is a relentless cycle of activity where every individual, regardless of rank or specialty, plays a vital role in the collective success of the mission. For this multi-billion-dollar machine to function, every person on board must adhere to a strict schedule, fulfilling their duties with precision, whether it is high noon or the dead of night. Below the frantic activity of the flight deck, the interior of the ship reveals the daily realities of life for those who serve. The crew lives in berthing compartments that are strategically distributed across the lower decks. These living spaces are models of efficiency, though they offer little in the way of comfort or privacy. Depending on the section of the ship, a single compartment can house anywhere from 40 to more than 100 sailors. The sleeping arrangements, known in naval parlance as racks, are stacked 2 or 3 high and are bolted securely to the steel bulkheads. Arranged in tight, narrow rows, each rack provides a sailor with a space roughly 6 feet long and 2.5 feet wide. Within this confined area, a thin mattress and a single pillow are the only amenities, save for a small curtain that can be drawn shut to provide a semblance of privacy in a room shared by dozens of others. Beneath each mattress lies the coffin locker, a small storage bin that serves as the sailor's only personal territory on the ship. In this cramped space, they must store their uniforms, personal gear, and the few mementos of home they were able to bring with them. The physical constraints are significant. There is barely enough room for a person to roll over, and the sleeper in the bunk above is often no more than 18 inches away. Yet, for a crew that regularly works 12-hour shifts or longer under high-stress conditions, the rack represents a necessary sanctuary. When a sailor finally finishes a grueling watch, they climb into their rack, pull the curtain, and seek whatever rest they can find. The berthing compartments are never truly silent. The ship is a living entity of constant sound. There is the perpetual rhythm of hatches opening and closing, the heavy thud of boots on the deck plates, and the muffled vibrations of the ship's machinery. However, through the necessity of service, most sailors quickly adapt, learning to sleep through the ambient noise of a warship at sea. Adjacent to these living quarters are the heads, the shared communal bathrooms that serve the needs of the crew. These facilities feature long rows of stainless steel sinks and mirrors, alongside small shower stalls designed for maximum efficiency. In an environment where resources are finite, water is strictly rationed. Sailors are trained to keep their showers brief, often lasting only a few minutes, to conserve the ship's vital supply of fresh water. Despite the high volume of personnel cycling through these spaces between shifts, the heads are maintained with military discipline. Beyond the living quarters, the logistical challenge of feeding 4,600 people 3 to 4 times a day is a monumental undertaking that defines the ship's internal economy. To meet this demand, the Ford utilizes two massive conglomerate galleys, centralized kitchens located along the ship's centerline that function as the heart of the vessel's sustenance operations. The aft galley is the primary hub, serving the general crew, chief petty officers, and commissioned officers from three separate serving lines, all of which are supplied by a single, high-capacity kitchen. The forward galley is activated specifically when the air wing is embarked, catering to the unique schedules of pilots and air crews. These kitchens operate without interruption, staffed by culinary specialists who work in continuous shifts to ensure that fresh food is always available. In the early hours of the morning, while much of the world is asleep, the night shift is already preparing breakfast. The scale is staggering. Eggs are scrambled in massive quantities on flat griddles, while hundreds of pounds of bacon and sausage are prepared in convection ovens. Trays of biscuits, kettles of oatmeal, and arrays of fresh fruit are laid out to fuel the morning watch. By mid-morning, the transition to lunch begins seamlessly. The menu shifts to grilled chicken, roast beef, baked fish, and a variety of grains and vegetables. As the afternoon progresses, preparations for dinner take center stage. This is a time for more complex meals, where cooks season racks of ribs, roll out fresh pizza dough, and prepare carved meats and salads. The food is intentionally hearty and calorie-dense, designed to provide the physical energy required for the demanding nature of carrier operations. To support this massive culinary effort, the ship's refrigerated storerooms, located directly beneath the galleys and connected by specialized pallet elevators, stay stocked with tons of frozen and fresh goods. The Ford is equipped with advanced technology, such as ethylene filters in the cold rooms, which allows fresh produce to remain viable for significantly longer periods than on previous generations of aircraft carriers. Meals are served in a buffet-style format, with dishes kept at temperature in heated serving trays under stainless steel domes. The process is a model of efficiency. Sailors grab a tray, move through the line, and select from a variety of main courses, sides, salads, and desserts. However, the social aspect of dining is curtailed by the demands of the mission. Each sailor typically has only 20 to 30 minutes to eat before they must vacate their seat for the next group. On a ship of this size, nobody lingers. The rotation of eating, working, and sleeping is a constant cycle that repeats 4 times daily, including the mid-rats or midnight meal provided for those on the overnight watch. While the routine is rigid, the galley crew makes special efforts during holidays. Whether it is a traditional Thanksgiving spread or a festive Christmas dinner, these meals are vital for morale, providing a rare and necessary connection to the lives the sailors left behind on shore. Above these lower decks, the flight deck of the USS Gerald R. Ford represents the pinnacle of modern naval aviation. Unlike the older Nimitz-class carriers that rely on steam-powered catapults, the Ford utilizes the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, or EMALS. This revolutionary technology allows for the launch of aircraft with greater precision, higher speeds, and significantly less physical strain on the airframes. Complementing this is the advanced arresting gear, which catches returning fighters with unprecedented reliability. On a typical day of combat operations, the flight deck is a theater of controlled chaos. The cycle begins with the movement of aircraft from their parking positions to the catapults, a process choreographed by the yellow shirts, or aircraft directors, who use a complex system of hand signals to guide the multi-million-dollar jets. They are supported by the green shirts, who manage the catapult machinery, and the red shirts, who are responsible for the arming of weapons systems. When the signal is given, the catapult fires, and a fighter jet is propelled into the sky in a matter of seconds. Almost immediately, the next aircraft in the queue rolls into position. During a high-tempo cycle, the Ford can launch dozens of aircraft in less than an hour, maintaining a constant presence in the skies above the strike group. Directly beneath the flight deck lies the hangar bay, a massive enclosed space that serves as the ship's primary maintenance and repair facility. Aircraft requiring technical attention are brought down from the deck via massive elevators. Here, in the glow of fluorescent lights and the constant hum of ventilation, mechanics work on engines, avionics, and hydraulics. This level is a hive of activity where weapons are assembled and staged for the next flight cycle, and spare parts are moved on specialized carts to wherever they are needed most. The noise here is a constant symphony of industrial labor, the sound of air tools, generators, and forklifts echoing through the bay. Supporting this entire operation is the complex infrastructure of life support systems. The Ford is capable of producing over 400,000 gallons of fresh water every day through its state-of-the-art desalination plants. This water is essential not only for the crew's hydration and hygiene, but also for the ship's laundry facilities, which operate around the clock to process the thousands of uniforms and linens generated daily. Furthermore, the ship houses a comprehensive medical facility, effectively a full-scale hospital at sea. This department is capable of handling everything from routine physicals and dental work to emergency surgeries and mental health support, ensuring that the crew remains fit for duty. Every department on the ship, from engineering and aviation to weapons and communications, operates on its own unique schedule, yet they are all interconnected. Deep below the waterline, the heart of the ship beats in the form of two A-1B nuclear reactors. These units provide the massive amounts of power required to move the 100,000-ton vessel and sustain its advanced electronic systems. Reactor operators and engineering technicians maintain these systems with unwavering vigilance, while damage control teams stand ready at a moment's notice to respond to fire, flooding, or any form of battle damage. The USS Gerald R. Ford is more than just a vessel. It is a self-sustaining city at war. Each of its 4,600 residents is a vital gear in a massive, interconnected machine that projects power across the globe. As they continue their mission in the Red Sea, under the banner of Operation Epic Fury, the crew remains dedicated to their roles, knowing that their work is the foundation of the ship's strength. They will continue this relentless pace, day and night, until the mission is complete and the ship finally returns to port, having served as a primary instrument of national policy in an increasingly uncertain world.